You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
The rivalry just exploded. Terence Crawford sent a direct shot at Floyd Mayweather after his stunning win over Canelo Alvarez. His message was clear: I'm coming for your legacy, not your records or your money, but the mark you left on this sport. As you'd expect, Floyd didn't take it lightly. He fired back hard in interviews, downplayed Crawford's victory, and made his own case for being the greatest ever. But this is about more than just words. This is a battle for boxing's history. Right now, Crawford holds the pound-for-pound crown. But Floyd owns the perfect record, the bigger pay-per-view numbers, and a global icon status. Their legacies are now on a collision course. Let's get into it.
It's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
To understand why Crawford spoke up, you have to go back to Las Vegas. When he faced Canelo Alvarez on September 13th, he was 2 weight classes smaller. Nearly everyone in boxing expected him to lose. He didn't just outbox Canelo. He managed his power, landed the heavier shots, and made history. With that win, Terence Crawford became the first fighter ever to become an undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions. That's the moment everything changed, and that's where his confidence truly came from.
You know, you said something about what fighters go through, and you've seen enough guys that the game is taken from. It's a hard game to get through. Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. You know, Canelo is, you know, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos, you know. So, there's no more. So, you know, when you look around, you say, I'm the Canelo, you know, I'm the face of boxing now. I'm the best pound for pound fighter in the world. Like I always been. You know, just gotta wait and see.
Exactly. It wasn't just another victory. It was a legacy-defining moment. A win of that magnitude doesn't just add a line to your record. It rewrites the entire conversation about what's possible in the sport.
Can't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round. So
yeah,
honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or
greatest of all time?
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
That's when the conversation shifted entirely. Fans stopped just calling Bud the best fighter in the world today. They started asking the ultimate question: is Terence Crawford now better than Floyd Mayweather? That's what sparked the real tension. Floyd built his entire legacy, the Money Mayweather brand, on being unbeatable and untouchable. But Crawford's sheer mastery in the ring, especially against Canelo, has been so undeniable that it's making people re-examine Floyd's standing in history. It's no longer just about an unbeaten record, it's about the quality of that brilliance, and for the first time, Floyd's claim feels like it's being seriously challenged.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
What we want to know? in the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
That's exactly why Crawford stepped forward. He's not just challenging the fighter. He's challenging the story Floyd has carefully crafted over decades. Crawford's statement wasn't about calling Floyd into the ring today. It was about reshaping history itself. Floyd spent his entire career in control. He decided when to face Pacquiao. He picked the moment to fight De La Hoya. He waited until Canelo was younger and less seasoned. 4 years, fans had little reason to question his path. Now, Crawford is offering a new narrative. He's asking, what if someone had faced the very best, at their very best, across 3 weight classes, and still came out flawless? That's the legacy he's building, and it's one Floyd never had to confront.
You see all these fighters, they're doing the shoulder roll, you see? I mean, yeah. And not knocking the guys that paved the way. And I want to come on record and say, I'm appreciative for guys like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. So many guys that paved the way for me. But there's only one Floyd Mayweather. These fighters are not better than me. You look at the numbers, they say, oh, Canelo may end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. Wait, he should? With almost, 80 and 90 fights, he should? Mm-hmm. I beat more world champions than any fighter in history. I'm 50-0, but half of my fights was world title fights.
You've hit on the defining difference. Crawford doesn't follow the usual script. His bravery shows in his timing. He didn't wait for Errol Spence to fade. He faced him and dominated him at his absolute peak. He didn't avoid Canelo Alvarez on the decline. He moved up and defeated him while Canelo was still the undisputed king of super middleweight. Crawford makes his statement by seeking out the very best at their very best. That's what sets his legacy apart.
Feeling to be Chris Eubank's trainer, first of all? It feels good, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been this trainer before, so... Yeah, it's good. It's a no-brainer. Of course. Congratulations on the win. What's your first reactions to Crawford's victory? One of the greats of this era, right?
Oh, definitely that. You know that.
What do you want to see him do now?
What I want to do now?
What do you want to see Crawford do next?
Do what he at this point now in his career where he could do whatever he wanted to do.
Who would you like to see him fight? Any names? Is there any names in particular you'd like to see?
It doesn't matter.
What about Canelo? Would you like to see him retire?
I don't. Canelo's not my responsibility.
Okay.
That carries a simple message. He's saying, I am the fighter who took the risks you never did. When people look back and compare what we've done, that is what they will remember.
Why are you so emotional afterward? Is it that you just realized everything that you achieved? The moment just hit you then?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, the history, behind the sport is just everything that, I trained for my whole life. It all was, coming out that one night. That was all paying off. You have a lot of people that, adopted this narrative that Terence Crawford can't sell, Terence Crawford is not marketable, and they push the narrative to the public, and that's all people write about. Oh, Terence Crawford can't do this, Terence Crawford can't do that. But anyone in Terence Crawford fights, you see a sold out crowd, but they wasn't talking about that. They was talking about how, marketable I'm not, and that kind of was hurting my career because, a lot of people was looking at me and said, oh yeah, they said he's not marketable. Oh, they said he's not, don't have a personality, things like that, because I didn't want to do things their way. I didn't want to put on a show. I didn't want to disrespect my opponents when they wasn't disrespecting me. Right. I wasn't, I'm not a guy that, wear jewelry for no reason. Just the things that I didn't want to do that they wanted me to do. They go out there and say, oh, well, they lost money on me. It's just crazy though to see me headline, you know, not one of the largest attending fight in American history. In American history.
For Crawford, building a legacy has never been just about staying undefeated. It's about who you face, when you face them, and how you win. That's the heart of his challenge to Floyd's status. True to form, Floyd didn't stay quiet. He immediately downplayed Crawford's win, suggesting Canelo wasn't the same fighter. He pointed to his own 50-0 record, his historic pay-per-view numbers, and argued that Crawford's achievements don't measure up. In Floyd's view, Crawford isn't rewriting history. He's just trying to stand on Floyd's shoulders. The most telling part was when Floyd essentially dismissed Crawford as irrelevant to his own story. His message was clear: when people talk about greatness, they talk about me. You can't touch a legacy that was untouchable from the start. In short, Floyd's stance is this: a king isn't overthrown. He can only be imitated.
I'll let you know, there's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone.
You're speaking the truth. Floyd's legacy is built on a foundation of flawless execution. A perfect 50-0 record. Never knocked down. A master of defense. The undisputed king of pay-per-view. He transformed boxing from just a sport into a billion-dollar business. That record and that impact are undeniable facts.
Because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
His legacy is built on the courage to chase greatness. He became a 3-time undisputed champion across 5 weight divisions. At 38 years old, he took down Spence and Canelo back-to-back at their peaks, showing zero fear and no hesitation. He operates with total control and absolute conviction. Right at the heart of this challenge lies a choice: playing it safe or taking a risk, chasing profits or building something meaningful, letting fear hold you back or finding the courage to move forward.
When I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. He wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, I think I was the better man tonight.
You can hear Floyd saying it now: I was the cleverest. He insists, I was the most courageous. Crawford's words struck a deep chord with him because how history remembers him matters far more than any fortune.
For the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. He's a GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. Everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Is key. Floyd only reacts this way when he feels truly threatened. Crawford isn't just winning matches these days, he's winning over the public. He currently stands as the top fighter in the 147-pound division. This is the same man who defeated Canelo when everyone said it couldn't be done. Champions from the past, experts, and the new generation all call him the greatest to ever do it.
Saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15.
Yeah.
Easily, you know. There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks. You know, but the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him the win.
On top of that, his success is measurable. His recent fight on Netflix sold out the stadium, sparked a global conversation online, and drew one of boxing's biggest worldwide audiences since the famous Mayweather and Pacquiao match.
Let's name it. We got to put the 5 up.
Who the 5?
Robinson is the Grizz.
Who?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Man,
That's Grizz.
I ain't even see that.
I YouTubed him, nigga. I YouTubed him. He on YouTube. Check YouTube.
He was buns.
Nah, it's like
buns. He was buns.
Sugar Ray Robinson is buns. No, you're wildin'. We're not standing for that.
Buns.
Listen, it's like this. It's like this. It's like
boxing has evolved, bro.
It has, but I'm saying
and Sugar Ray Robinson didn't even know how to pick his hands up.
Hold up, it's
Go
like
watch
this.
him fight Jake LaMotta. He was hitting that nigga with non-stop hooks. Over and over.
But you're not counting it like this. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain is not that. If you dominate in the era where you're doing shit that nobody does in the era, nobody was doing that.
Wilt Chamberlain, did they have a 3-point line?
No.
Oh, I don't want to hear about him.
He scored 100 points.
Doing what?
It don't matter what he did. 100 of these, nigga. 100 of these.
That's ass.
Nah, you gotta stop it.
That's ass.
You gotta stop it.
Here is why Floyd is responding. It is not about personal jokes. It is because Crawford has stepped into his spotlight. Crawford now holds the top spot. He headlines major events. For the first time since Floyd left, boxing people are asking a serious question. They are wondering if Crawford is the better fighter. But there is a twist. Crawford does not seek a fight with Floyd. He has always respected him. He calls Floyd a true great. He has trained with him. He credits Floyd for inspiring him. He never asked for this battle. He never needed Floyd's blessing. This makes the situation unique. The goal was never to grab fame or arrange a profitable match. It was simply to speak an honest truth. That chasing greatness means taking chances and showing heart. Crawford knows fighting Floyd now does nothing for his legacy. Floyd is 48 and long retired. Beating him proves nothing. Crawford has already secured his place in history. His position is safe, and his real fights are what truly matter.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter. Then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship. And then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
Many fans stand with Floyd, pointing to his unbeaten record and huge earnings as proof he is the greatest ever. They believe his legacy is untouchable. Others champion Crawford. They see him as the bold fighter who takes the risks Floyd avoided, moving up in weight to challenge anyone. To them, Crawford is today's true pound-for-pound king. Analysts like Max Kellerman argue that Crawford's willingness to face all comers makes him superior in a crucial way. Floyd, of course, will not stay quiet. So the real battle isn't about Crawford fighting Canelo. It is about Crawford challenging Mayweather's entire legacy, which is a far tougher fight. What happens next? Floyd will keep talking. He will downplay Crawford's achievements, remind everyone of his perfect 50-0 record, and work to keep his name in the headlines. Crawford does not need to reply with words. His actions say everything. He just defeated Canelo Alvarez at 38 years old. He just made history. The world already calls him the best. Make no mistake, this debate continues for one reason. Crawford's rise has truly gotten under Floyd's skin. Floyd is working hard to protect his legacy and control the narrative, but the conversation has already shifted.